Hi, this is Lisa Schmid with the Stamper Studio. Welcome to Wonder Wednesday. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have been one for 19 and a half years. I'm so excited. In October will be 20 years. Oof, we'll have to have some kind of special celebration and party for that, right? Tonight, Wonder Wednesday is a time when you ask me questions, and then I answer them. And this week I had somebody ask, what do you do with storage? Like, where do you store all the stuff, especially when you start or just starting up and all of a sudden you've got paper and stamps and adhesive and you've got all this stuff. What do you do with it? Good question. So I'm going to show you what to do with all of that. All right, my handy dandy assistant Dave is going to bring some things up on the screen here. So you can see here that Stampin' Up! Does have some storage available. So we have places where you can hold your stamp pads. You can see they come 5 in a set. And then you can also, there's also a little holder for where you can put the marker. And then the piece on top, you can have that that's sold separately as a separate little topper right there. So like I said, they come 5 in a set. So those are awesome for stamp pads. Yeah, you can stack as many as you want, as high as you want to go. And I was just going to grab the catalog here and have that. So they are on page 145 if you are looking for that. So it's good for stamp pads, marker. It's good for the re-inkers, which I always say if you're going to order the ink pad, you might as well get the re-inker also, because there's nothing worse than going to stamp something and it's not juicy enough and it doesn't come out dark enough. So the other thing there is you could store punches in that. If you have just a few punches, you can see on the bottom left of that picture, there's some punches. If you have a lot of punches, that would take up a lot of space, but they do have a cube. We have a cube that you can just get the open storage cube. So the ink pad and marker storage trays are $14 for 5 of them. And then the other thing you can see there, the Stampin' Blends, same thing, you get 5 of them. I have those. I have them stacked high. I'll show you a picture of that in a little bit. Love, 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 love them. All right. So what else do we have, Dave? So here are the individual pieces. So you can see the topper storage that obviously sits on the top, but it's open. So you could use it for your re-inkers. The open storage you could use for ribbon. You could use for, like the picture shows you with the punches. You could put embellishments in there. And then the topper lid is actually like the top, the very top where you would finish, and then you could put things above on top of that, I guess. And then I told you the other things. The other thing you can see on this page is the clear block storage caddy. We're going to come back to that. So we'll continue on. Stamps. That's like your first thing and biggest, not biggest, but it's your first thing you got to figure out, what am I going to do with these stamps? In my opinion, the best thing to do is to get a bookshelf. So a small bookshelf, kind of like waist high, maybe 3 shelves, 4 shelves, and then you can stack up.
Any shelf you have.
Yeah, any shelf you have will work, Dave said. But you can you can line up the stamp pads like stamps like that, or you can put them sideways. You can see just on the edge there, they're laying flat like this. I have them sorted by, like, this category is occasions. I also have nature, and I have flowers, and I have sentiments. So I don't have a lot of categories, but I just have them separated a little bit so I can find them. And then the ones on the right that are laying down, those are from JJ21. So I just like to keep those a little bit separate for myself. And then the ones that have a dot, see the one all the way on the left, the hot air balloon one, that means it's retired, but I chose to keep it just as a little, for me, that's what I did. So stamps, you really want a bookshelf. I think that's probably the best place to keep them. All right, Dave, what's next? Paper. I've got a couple different ways that I think are great to organize paper. So this, obviously, if you have the space, this is awesome because I can put just one color. Sometimes I put 2 colors together. I put my in colors all together, but I can put different colors in each space. And where'd you say you could get this? Office Depot sells these. Paper organizer. Okay, so that's one thing. If you have the space for it. Now, you might not have the space. You might not want to take up all that space. So in that case, you could use 12 by 12 drawers. You can get these at Target, Michael's, and lots of places, Home Depot. So you can get these 12 by 12 drawers, and you could use those for paper. So then if you have 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11, you can put your paper in there. Or the other way, do we have one more way? Yes. So this way is a file box. Again, Office Depot. So these have hanging folders in them. If you have a lot of paper, I think this is a good way to go. If you have just a little bit of paper, I don't like hanging my paper if it's not flush and tight up against other things. Can they still see me? Okay. No. Oh, because I'm like talking to them as if they could see me. I like to put the paper so it's flush up against other things. If you're hanging it, it starts to bow. So, okay, what's next? 6, can they see me though? Can you make it so they can see me? No. Okay, so these, is it for 6 by 6? You could use a photo box, and you could just label them, or you could just put them in there. I have mine. I don't have them all labeled, but I have them together and I keep them together. All right, next. These are scraps. Okay, what on earth do you do with scraps? Like scraps, there's it's just really hard to throw away like a quarter sheet. You don't want to throw away a big sheet of paper. So I have these sorted by color families, mostly, like what I think of as the color families. So these, there's a good way to store the scraps if you have that much space. If you don't have that much space, you could use a smaller photo box and put your scraps in there. And you really don't want to save anything bigger than like $1 or smaller than $1. Like $1 is about the smallest I'm going to save, because I'm going to end up grabbing something bigger anyway and cutting it, and then I end up with more scraps. So these are photo holders. So that's some good ideas for scraps. All right, like I said, the markers, the Stampin' Blends, this is mine. So of course, once I got the holder, I wanted more blends because I wanted to fill it up. So I love it. And I just organized it sort of in my own thinking of color. I see I have yellows in different spots, which is a little strange to me. But anyway, so I love, love, love this holder. But Stampin' Blends, you do want to keep horizontal. You don't want to have it up and down vertical because the ink all runs to one side. Here's the clear blocks. We do sell a clear block holder, and that is foam that's holding them in. So that's a great way to keep them, especially if you're going to take them and go somewhere, or if you have to put it away and pull them back out. However, I used to have 2 of those. Now I just use these little baskets because I don't put them away, and I have more than 1 box worth of holders. So I just use my blocks and I toss them back in this basket. So that works for me, just little baskets. These are baskets I use for the 3D embossing folders and for the dies. So I just happen to have these baskets, and I was like, oh, they fit. One's like a medium size and one's a large size. So basket could work, or you can even just go to the dollar store. This is just literally a $1 little bucket. I put the 3D embossing folders, so while it looks big on the screen, it's really not that big. It's the perfect size for 3D embossing folders and for the dies. So, hi, Diane. Hi, Patty. All right, so that's a way to keep your 3D folders. I like to keep my little embellishments. You've seen me show you this probably in these little containers, because I used to keep them in a drawer. But what happened is when I'm sifting through looking for things, a lot of the things are popping off, and then I end up with a drawer full of stuff that I end up throwing away. So I like it like this because I can actually, like a file folder, I can kind of use my fingers and go through and find the embellishment that I want. I have 2 of those, just keep it separate. Another great storage are these small drawers. They're about a 6 by 6 square, and I use them. We used to have little punches, so I do have some of those little punches still that I have in there. I probably don't use this as much as I could, but I have some stuff in there, and it could be useful for embellishments or smaller stamps or washi tape or twine, things like that. All right, speaking of twine, these jars are from IKEA. They're very inexpensive, and I just use these. Quart size. I just use these to keep my twine in because I don't know. I like to be able to see things. I think for me to be able to use it, I have to know it's there, and it has to be a clear container so I can see in it. So I use those for the twine. This is just a shoebox. And this is actually all retired ribbon because I love ribbon. I keep it. But shoe boxes, the clear shoe boxes with the lid are a great storage for just about everything. You could use it for punches, for ribbon, for stamps. You can really use those clear storage containers for everything. And Dave and I have learned one thing that's a great organizational tip is to use the same size organizational item for a lot of things, because then they stack, they sit next to each other, and then visually they're quite pleasing because they're all the same. So that is where I would store ribbon. Punches. So I happen to have these attached to my wall. This is a towel rack, towel bar from IKEA. The punches sit on it quite nicely. Again, the ones on with the dots are retired, but I still have them. So that is one way if you have a space for it. I mean, it depends on if you're committing to a room or an office or something. If not, put them in the shoebox, stack them up in the shoebox. These our punches are wonderful because you can squeeze them shut and lock them so they stay flat. So that is a ticket with these. That is just really great. All right. How about all that other stuff? Scissors, whatever, all these things, rulers, brushes. I put these, this is just a simple pen holder from Office Depot. I have a couple of those and they're handy because they're portable. This one is like a spinny, it's not really spinny, but it has 3 compartments. And so this is what sits on my table right here where I do our videos so that I've got everything right near me. Super handy. This is here. Dave was like, we weren't sure if we were going to put this in here, but the reason I want to show you this is actually a shower caddy. So this is something you would put in your shower to hold your shampoo and all that stuff. However, what?
It's actually for next to your sink. Those hooks are for your hair dryer cords.
Oh, excuse me, I misunderstood. Anyway, it's for the bathroom. And but when we were just looking through, looking online at Target, we saw this and I thought, it's what I want. It's perfect to put things that you see here, like things that are tall or things that can hang on it. So try, when you're thinking about organization, sometimes try to look with a different eye. Like not everything has to be the purpose that it was made for. You decide what that purpose is and use it to fit in your system, in your house, in your space. Was that the last one? Okay, so hopefully you got some really good tips on storage, on how to store things. It does get a little overwhelming, but I'm telling you, those clear shoe boxes are just awesome. And one thing I really like also with the clear shoe boxes is if I want to make a project and make a bunch of cards, I cut everything, I get my ink, my scissors, I get everything ready, put it in the shoebox, then I make them while I'm watching TV, but that's portable, so I can take it with me. Dave, can you come on down here for a moment? So that is all about storage. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to try to answer those for you. Couple of things I want to point out is hopefully you've heard today is free shipping. Today only is free shipping. And these colors, this is the last year for these colors. There are in colors. They've been around for 2 years. So all these colors, terracotta tile, rococo rose, seaside spray, this one is my favorite, and pretty peacock. These have blends and paper and ink. And then the purple posy is just the blends and the paper. There's no stamp pad for purple posy. But for the stamp pads here, now's the time to get the ink refill. And even more, now's the time because you get free shipping. So if you have these colors, if you want these colors, paper, ink, anything, I would suggest you get them quickly because this catalog, our big catalog, the last day is May 3rd, which means about a month ahead of time, the retired list is going to come out. And once that list comes out, these colors disappear like super quickly. And we have ribbon that matches these too, and that will just be gone. So this is good through May 3rd and May 4th. May the 4th be with you. May 4th is our new catalog. So that's super exciting. This catalog, though, January to June 21 is good through June 30th. So I actually had to write these down because we've got a lot of things going on right now or coming soon. So if you want to order anything, I would order it today. Order.thestamperstudio.com, probably through 11 tonight. And that's how you get your free shipping. Shipping is 10% of your order. So it's a pretty sweet deal. The last thing I want to show you is on Saturday. Look what just came in the mail. So on Saturday, I'm going to show you the butterfly brilliance. We'll make some cards with these. I did not realize that this is all one piece. So that's interesting. Well, the dies, we have dies that go with it, those, as well as the outline. How fun is that? As well as some really cool backgrounds. So I'm excited to play with that. I also will just show you this fun 6x6 paper that also is going to go. I'll show you on Saturday more of it, but let's go ahead and take a peek at it. I haven't even opened it. I just opened it. Ooh, so fun. Ooh, watercolory. Pretty. So pretty. Oh my goodness. Nice monarchs. I love monarchs. So fun. So I am excited to make some things with this and show you them on Saturday. If you live locally, I do have one last set, one package or one kit for the Take It Up a Notch, which is next Thursday. I have one kit, but if you live locally, otherwise I'm afraid it might not get to you. So let me know if you want to get that. It's $25. We're going to make 3 awesome cards, and you get $10 in product. So I don't want to spoil that and tell you what that is, but there's 3 different things of product in there, in the envelope. Okay, that's what I have for you, friends. Are there any other questions or? Nope. Okay. Do you want to know how I store my stamp? Yes. So how do you store your stamp pads, Diane? Yes, we do want to know how you store them.
So you can spend more.
So my ink pad, so you can spend more in Stampin' Up. Yes, please. Go ahead and put that in the chat. How do you store them? Well, the other thing, I'm glad you mentioned that with ink pads. I'm just going to grab this one. So with ink pads, you want to make sure to store them flat. The old pads we used to store this way, right? Because the way it was designed, the ink was in the top. But these, the ink is in the top, but we just store it flat. You don't want to store it like this way because obviously all the ink will drip to the bottom. So as much as possible, I store these flat. Same with the Stampin' Blend markers. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing that answer, Diane, on how you store your ink pads so we can spend more money on Stampin' Up. But put in the chat, would you write down how do you store your things? How do you store your stamp pads? How do you store your paper?
Post a picture.
Yeah, post a picture. That'd be awesome. Let's help each other because I do have some brand new stampers and they're like, what do I do with this stuff? Of course, as you start to get more and more, it can get a little bit overwhelming. So I don't want that to happen to you. All right, make sure you go order. If you haven't already, take advantage of that free shipping. Order the In Colors ink, paper, whatever you want that is going bye-bye. You want to make sure to get that before it's gone. All right, friends, have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday using this butterfly brilliance. It's going to be so fun. All right, have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye. No, that's just